So I've decided to do a check on the pendulum about this version of Musk who has gone for this state dinner at Qatar's Lusail Palace, and to ask questions on it on the pendulum. Okay, so we're asking about this video and this part, and Trump is looking like Kira somewhere. That's looking like Kira. This is looking like Kira out and out and out. And this one I'm asking the pendulum. Okay, now next is this, why he's introducing to the partner. Okay, what is interesting is this clip actually. What happens over here? This man doesn't know how to behave. So, Parisha, I just showed the clip. I want to know that version of Elon sailing, and he's a little effeminate. Is that Dominic, who in the past has shapeshifted for SRL during my 5-month marriage? Has he shapeshifted as Mr. JAYA.ADVANI also at some point in time? Is he on the legal side of things when he does his work? Is his ancestry a criminal cartel? Is he the guy from Copenhagen? Demon mode and demon abode? Did he do something haywire in Saudi on this trip when he has been here? Yesterday, day before, whenever he's been there? Has he already started messing around? Rear door entry messing around? Has he brought his associates with him to mess around? Okay, the thing is, Elon is effeminate, yet SRL has personally told me that he has to be the alpha and he has to be, the man in any relationship, which means he has to be the decision maker, the dominating person, whether with a man or a woman, doesn't matter, but he has to be the dominant factor. Here, this guy is little effeminate. How does he manage to do that? Is it because he's wearing the ego of something that is slightly more personable and more effeminate just to cover up who he really is? Is that how he's managing to be a little effeminate? Or a little more graceful in his walk? Because the SRL that I know, one is a rude man. Second, he smiles very less, he's not personable for most part of it. He is SOUR for most part of it, with quite a bad attitude at times. He also thinks no end of himself, and he has no reason to if he is in SRL's ego. But here the man is effeminate, and over there he's got a very deep voice, an Indian deep voice, a brown face which is not that great, and a bad personality which he doesn't bother covering or hiding. Here this guy is very personable, he's got a white face, he's also a little effeminate compared to SRL. Is it because he's wearing the ego and the ET, so he can behave like Elon? The man who's gone to Saudi, if I can ask you in basic words, is that the real son of Errol Musk and May Musk, brought up at Pretoria, South Africa? The man who has gone to Saudi Arabia is a criminal from Norway, whose forefather or at least grandfather or great grandfather have been running criminal networks there, a criminal syndicate. Donald Trump is Kira, a man who has shapeshifted for Kiran Merchant at some point in time. He has stayed at Lonavala at some point in time. He's brown skin under normal circumstances, and he keeps talking about the Miyabais and about the Khandars. But then Khandeshwar and Khandar and Panvel is where he said, this is where all the Miyabais stay. Khandar is what he has called 2011 Ambi Valley. That means the people who are down under in the vicinity, this guy knows about it. Now, is Kira a legal entity who's good, who's shape-shifting for Trump? Is he a warlord? Who will create confusion and devastation wherever he goes? Is Kira good for India? Is Kira planning to stab India in its back? Going forward? In short, is Kira also from the Middle East? What is Kira's real bloodline? Is it Middle Eastern bloodline? Is he from a royal or a middle class background? Is Kira from the Middle Eastern labor background or the worker class background or poverty ridden background from the Middle East, picked up from the Middle East? Is he Jaitley's right hand man so far? Are they working on getting rid of Jaitley in some way if they can? Jaitley, who is shape-shifting for late Mr. Narendra Damodar Das Modi. Are they planning to actually stamp down on him now going forward? So Trump is stood in for by Kira, who's actually Middle Eastern blood. Kira is anti-India, while he's Jaitley's friend. At least has done work for him. Elon is Dominic, who has shapeshifted for SRL and JAYA.ADVANI. Dominic is responsible for the bomb blast in Bombay, 2008. Does he have a hand to play in it? Does Kira have a hand to play in the 2008 bomb blast? Does anybody in the legal side know about the truth? But they had an inquisition on Kasab, right? Didn't these people have an inquisition on Kasab for 2 years? So how come they weren't able to get down to Kira and to Dominic? Were they able to get the names of Dominic and Kira? Somebody on the legal side of it knows Kira is involved, knows Dominic is involved, or thinks it is JAYA.ADVANI involved. So do they know who the face behind JAYA.ADVANI is? Do they know who Kira is for Kiran Merchant? So does anybody on the legal side of it today know that these two are shape-shifting for Donald Trump and Elon Musk? Are they going to come to know watching this video of mine uploaded on YouTube? Will they figure it out? Will they even get the hint, or they're still stupid? The guy who's holding his bloody belt when he's meeting these high officials of Qatar, and that also in front of a lady. Isn't that ball scratching in Bombay and flashing a penis in Bombay that these fucks do on the streets? Was it done on purpose? The man under that skin is a real man, or he's one of these pickups by these horrible beings straight out of the Bombay railway lines and those footpaths? That's what he's done, right? Anyway, I've decided, instead of making it too long, what I had to say in this short video, I'm going to keep it short. I'm ending it here only. Okay?